Hey, everybody. We're live, I
Hi.
think. I hope on YouTube. If not, we're recording it, so
It's been a while
whatever.
since we did this, but
Uh,
considering
Let's. We are just streaming live on YouTube right now. I didn't want to simulcast on Rumble because there's too many moving parts to juggle in this
so as you
crazy
know,
thing.
this has been an interesting day. First off, starting off, Richard Simmons died today. That sucks.
Did he die today? I thought I could have sworn there's a lot of
Okay, he died today, meaning I just found out today.
Oh.
So not sure if that's the thing, but for what I know, he's dead. That sucks. Sweat of the oldies. I'll always remember you. Always weird. Biopic. Is that what it is? Biopic?
He said
Biopic?
he's down for it.
Which, I mean, he looks just like him, so
Yeah.
it's an easy transition. I mean, transition.
It's it's a what do you call it? It's a
He's
it's
a
a
good-
layup. It's a layup.
It's a layup for him because he's a pure doppelganger. But for everything else that happened is I'll let Porter fill you in on that because that's some wild shit.
So caught it on the way over. Somebody tried to shoot Trump. Somebody tried to kill Trump. I mean, he got hit in the ear.
175th thousandth of it. So
Right.
we're here.
Yeah, we were gonna. I mean, we needed to practice our live streaming anyway. So
True.
it's a crazy day in the news cycle.
So
it's like
that-
I was telling him, we'll just cover stuff unless something else happens
Yeah. Well, we
between
didn't think
now
about
and
this,
then.
which is weird because I was just talking to him. Like when I was going on my morning run, we were going over what we were going to talk about earlier in the week. And we were talking, and I was telling him about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and I wanted to take a deep dive, which is obviously going to take a huge back. While they were like not president,
Campaigning.
but any candidate while they were campaigning ever died. I couldn't wrap my head around. I was trying to think, and I meant to send it to Porter earlier. And then when he got it, when I knew when he was on his way, when we were going to talk about all this stuff, I was going to bring it up and we could look it up and have a fun little, yeah, well, blah, 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 blah. And then this shit happens. Like, okay, well, I didn't wish this into existence.
But we're there in our time and place. Like, the cycles of history, and I talked about it before with you. There's a book, you can check it out. It's called The Fourth Turning. There's a new edition. I think Neil Howe's going to be on PBD some point. But they studied the cycles of history, and we're kind of on time.
Yeah, which is
We're due for political violence and civil. We're already in
unrest.
We're already in a period of civil strife, as it were.
Yeah.
You just have to look back the past 4 years.
This is what gets me about this whole situation that just transpired. If we're putting our tinfoil hats on,
Uh-huh.
here, let me move this a little closer. How's that? How's that sound? Sound better?
It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we're putting our tinfoil hats in nature, because I mean, you just like the photo of him saying, "Let's fight." And
Fight like hell.
Fight like hell with his fist in the air. Blood streamed across his face. Apparently, he had 2 little grazes across his face. If you want to pull up the picture while I ramble for a second.
Okay.
And he had blood on his face. It's kind of perfect timing. If you want to just if you just want to back up, and I understand maybe this isn't the right time, but I'm not a timing kind of guy. But right now, if you're the Democrats, you're screwed, staged or not. Now I'm not saying that it's completely staged, but if you would have told me that we find out years later on that yeah, maybe it wasn't exactly how he put it, but the only thing that kind of gives me pause is something I learned about 15 minutes ago. I didn't know that somebody died there. All I knew is the only person I knew that got shot or killed was the person who died in there. That makes us a color, a color of a different animal, if that's the right expression. But it's weirdly good timing. Now, let's put this on the other hand. One, if this happens to Biden, he just dies right there. Not because of the gunshot wound. He probably has a heart attack and, his brain burst. And then that's it.
Like you think the censorship of like 2020 and all that emerges stuff, this would have been
Well, yeah,
like,
that's the next
like
thing.
all the, yeah.
Yeah. But all I'm saying is if this actually... Let's play both of these things out. All right? Just... We'll go that this is completely real. There's nothing fake about it. There's no bullshit. I don't want you fuckers coming after us because we're just speculating. All we know is what we see on the Twitters and the X's and the Facebooks and all the CNNs and all the things. We're just going off of what we're told, which if you're have any kind of brain, the reason it's hard.
Oh wow. Yeah.
The reason that it's hard to be completely like believe everything you just see is because all the shit we just went through for the last 4 years. It's kind of hard. It's like, okay, well let's get all the information
there we go.
first.
With AI and shit. This what you want to show them?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not that one. Remember the one I showed you with him with his fist in the air and. Right there, bottom right.
That one, yeah. That one. Okay. Swap.
Him asking for his shoes is another weird thing to that. I understand that I'm just nitpicking, but from what I heard from alternate sources, like before he just, because if you're getting shot at and you don't see it coming, you're getting the fuck out of there. It's like, keep up with me, run. He's not getting away. Anyway, so that was weird.
That was about phone.
No, that's fine. So I mean, if I'm just trying to be, but I want to be objective as I can. Now, this right here just basically gave the Republicans a win. If they already didn't have it,
yeah, here you go.
This did.
Okay, now I can show them. Okay, yeah. Sorry,
So,
Sky News. I'm using your.
Here's what I'm looking at. Looking at those grazes on his face.
It's like it barely got him, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It looks like that top one is a graze and the bottom one, but if the bottom one grazed it, he's got big ears, dude. That it would have touched that other side of the ear too. Okay. Anyway, we're going off the narrative that this is 100% true. Right? Any kind of heavy caliber rifle, the side of his head's going.
It looks like
if it touches his face, his ear's gone.
So it's probably fair assumption. It's probably like an AR or something like that style.
Probably. It looks like a fucking BB gun, honestly.
It's a 22.
It's probably a 20. It looks like a 22, like a suppressed, like supersonic 22, maybe. 5.56. I mean, but look at that. That's too small of a graze. Anyway, the reason I
footage here.
Okay.
You want to watch it?
Yeah, let's watch
it. Okay.
Is there sound?
Where'd it go? Sorry. I will in a minute. Sorry, folks. Doing it all.
Yeah, I know. He's pretty great. Give him a hand.
That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you...
Look at that reaction.
Well, he just...
Yeah. Well, no, he'll play it. Back
That's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Oh, you hear somebody say shit. Huh.
If you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
All right, so what you think?
Well, it sounds like a suppressed, very, like, not super high caliber weapon.
Yeah, nah. Yeah, that wasn't very big, whatever that was. It wasn't that big, but still.
Anybody covering this, if you say silence, don't listen to that person. They don't know anything.
Because it's not really silenced at all.
Well, yeah,
it's not like in the movies where it goes. Doo, 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 doo.
Well,
is it?
Kind of. It depends.
I meant like the '80s movies.
Oh no!
Like
nothing like that. No.
Boom, boom.
All right.
It's almost like a laser.
All right. So I want to play this thing out from the completely like I'm going to believe everything that I'm seeing side of my brain to the other skeptical side. So, this is what, first of all, the guy who actually died, like not the would-be assassin, the audience member. Dude, that sucks, man. I'm like prayers with your family. That's wrong place, wrong time. And I honestly don't know what to say. I don't know the right thing to say. It's just it's a travesty. It really is.
It was obviously like heavy enough caliber to injure or kill somebody. So.
And that's what this is what gets me, is that they just duck, and nobody runs. That I don't understand. I understand getting shocked, getting frozen in the moment. But once you get your head down, it's like, okay, well, they're not shooting at me. Fuck this. And then split. Get out of there.
Well, at the same time, like, it's a panic situation, and people are probably looking around to see where the shots
Well, no,
are
but
coming
this is
from.
what gets me, is the guy, if you looked at the thing, the guy behind's like reaching down. It's a dude with sunglasses and a hat, which I know doesn't really say much. It depends on the reaction view. But you see him reach down, and he just kind of looks down a little bit, grabs his phone, and he just starts pointing it at the thing, and he's just holding it up like, let's see what happens next. So he's like, are you shitting me? Like, how long is this?
Which
guy?
It's only like 11 seconds.
Go back to the other one. The other reaction view. Like, clear out of this one.
Okay.
I thought there was another one that you were just looking at.
Well, wait,
it was like 6
that's
minutes
on
long.
YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, right there. That one down.
This one?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, Mr. Black Scout Survival.
Yeah, hey, appreciate you putting this up, and then we're gonna use it for a little bit. It's not him. Let's see if they're gonna zoom in.
We're watching here live this event happening over in Pennsylvania,
Okay, look to the right of.
It seems like popping sounds over in the background. We've had the Secret
Look to
Service
the right
members.
of the podium.
Right of the podium, where?
Yeah, just it should be to the. Look, oh no, it's just. I think it's the guy in the red hat and black shirt. No. I understand. To the right of the podium, is like right there.
Okay.
That's where he's at.
Let me roll it back.
No. It should. I think it's going to zoom in. Because you get a real. Because from what I saw, if this is the footage that I saw, yeah, it'll zoom in. All right, let me see. They're right. Maybe it's not the same guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the same thing. Maybe it's the gray shirt. Just keep it going.
Okay.
Look, just keep your eye on that guy. No, not him. Where is he? Right there. He had a white shirt.
I can't.
Just look to the left of the guy's ass.
Which guys?
The Secret Service. To the far left. And no, you can't see it now.
I can't see nobody.
No, yeah, everybody just start pulling out their phones. It's like, dude, there's a shooter. What are you doing? Put your phones down and get the hell out of there. Are you crazy? What are we doing here?
Right.
Dude, I'm pretty sure 90% of you people have kids. Get out of there. He's got his Secret Service. Put your stupid hand down and get the fuck out of there. Live to fight another day, all right? You don't got a weapon. You're not trying to secure the perimeter or do anything crazy. I understand. You're trying to make a statement, but that right there is where my skeptical side is like, dude, what the fuck? How the fuck you have...
Who playing this?
No, you have all these people trying to shove an old man in an SUV. Dude, I could easily pick him up and toss his ass in there.
Yeah.
I understand. He's going to fuck that. Get him out of there. Make a statement after. Be like, hey, we are not afraid. Or whatever the fuck you want to do. Whatever kind of cool speech you want to give or what kind of thing you want to do. Get the fuck. This ain't football where the guy gets carted off the field. He holds up a thumbs up. Like, no, dude, you're supposed to be running for the presidency to run our country, the most powerful country in the entire world at the moment.
At the moment.
Yeah, because, I mean, you know, tides shift.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I hope it doesn't, but still. We're not the world police people. Anyway, but that's your thing. You get the fuck out of there because you need to preserve and make sure, because, like, don't sit there and stick your big-ass head outside. and put your fist up? Because guess what? What if there's another shooter? Then you just got your head taken off because you're standing there, a fucking stationary target. I mean, pretty much. That's Neo.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's showing. Yeah, here, put that up there.
Oh, from
the Matrix.
Twitter user Donaldo Trumpo.
Yeah. So okay, I'm still trying to work on the theory of if everything happens like if this is all completely real and it's not staged even a little bit. You just basically just won their election, Republicans, because that right there,
I mean, there's your martyr moment.
That photo of him with blood on his face, raising his fist.
Yeah. It's done.
It's done.
Yeah.
There's nothing they can do.
Civil War is trending in politics. Go figure.
Yeah. Here's the bad part.
On Twitter.
Here's the bad part. Stage it or not. This is what I think happens next.
What happens next, Greg?
They go after Antifa because according to what I've seen, and I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's true.
It's unconfirmed.
Unconfirmed.
That's what Megyn Kelly said on the way over.
Unconfirmed is that Antifa is the group that is behind the shooting of this. So that means far left extremists, who apparently, not gonna go there. Far left extremists are responsible, allegedly, unconfirmed, but allegedly responsible for this act, right? Anytime you try to assassinate, doesn't matter what presidential candidate, it is. If you try to assassinate them, it's
you getting eyes on you now. Yeah, like all the radical groups are gonna get scrutinized.
And then what happens when Trump gets elected? Because you're pretty much guaranteeing it now. What happens now?
Yeah, like
they're all coming after you.
Yeah,
your entire group is gonna get demolished.
Yeah.
Run and hide. Seriously.
Yeah.
Because honestly, whether you did it or not, fingers are getting pointed at you.
If you're one of the dude's buddies, or if you're hanging out with that person, or if you know someone who knows that person, or if y'all run in the same network.
You ever seen Wyatt Earp, the old Kevin Costner one?
Yeah, it's been a while. I wonder.
You remember the Cowboys? How they had red sashes and red bandanas?
Yeah.
What is the thing? It's going to kind of go like this. Anybody wearing a red bandana
or the Antifa
is going to get gunned down. No, I'm talking about in this analogy.
Okay, in the analogy.
So they're saying it's basically what's going to happen to Antifa. They're you're not going to just get gunned down for on the streets, but you don't know what civilians and crazy right Republicans are going to do.
Yeah, because you just gave them an excuse to come looking for you.
It's like you didn't just give them the ammo; you gave them GPS coordinates to you with. Sent them a firearm and a fucking box of ammo. You just gave them everything they need to come after you.
Yeah.
Run and hide. Seriously. I'm just...
if you're a left-wing radical, it ain't a good time to be one of those.
You better start making good. I'm not saying you're getting killed or anything bullshit, but people are going to come after you who aren't sensible.
Yeah. It ain't gonna work out well for y'all.
And it sucks. We're not saying this is a call to action.
Oh.
But what just happened right there... basically just put a big, huge banner in the sky as calling to action, and definitely not what we want. Because if there is any division in our country that is going to completely split us, I mean, we're not going to have a problem in Texas. But
no, Texas has got it.
But the thing is that if this is going to splinter off and go in a bad way.
Yeah. James, this is on James Wood's Twitter feed. The actor.
Yeah, see that picture right there is going to be for the next few months until he gets elected.
Okay, yeah, that's what he said. We were 2 inches away from a civil war today. It is not a prospect I relish, but one that is to be feared if Democrats don't stop with their absurd vile Hitler analogies and their assassination glee, which is true.
Did you see the shit with Joy? What was her name? Joy something?
Joy Reid?
Joy Reid.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Keep Hitler out of the White House.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. I'll vote for a corpse to keep Hitler out of the White House. Well, now it's real.
Well, if you truly believe in Hitler, well, guess what? He's going to be in the White House. Good job, Democrats, you dumb shits.
Yeah.
If you had any real hopes of
if they had any
legitimate candidate who had a real shot, if you really, really wanted to think about what's best for the country, if you're only thinking about what's best for the country, not what's best for your side, what's best for the country, You would put a legitimate political candidate for your party to oppose Donald Trump to make the best for all of us. Doesn't matter what side, for every American. That's what you do. And guess what? That fucked it up. We have no shot now. I'm not saying I'm a Democrat. I'm talking about as Americans to have a good, sensible person to try to do just what's best for America without trying to fucking stoke up any bullshit, without trying to fucking point and fingers and just try to be the sensible grown-up in the room. The grown-up.
Well, between the lawfare and everything else, like...
Because these two candidates, like these two options that we have is ridiculous. I understand the better one is Trump, right? Can we agree?
Yes.
The better one is Trump. Can we
you
also,
preach in the choir, homie.
I know, but can we also agree that there are better candidates out there than what we've got presented? I didn't say there's a lot, but
I don't know.
To say that there are better ones out there that could be better for America as a whole, I think that
could suffer the slings and arrows
yes.
at the same time, and also not get taken in by the establishment machine.
Yes.
See, that's a big problem.
I'm saying that there are people out there that could do it. Now, it doesn't matter what you do, he's winning.
Yeah.
So now we got to wait another 4 years to hopefully get some kind of
normalcy,
because it's not 4 years. The next 4 years is not going to be normal.
I think normalcy train left the station, and
it did in 2008. No.
Yep. 2016. I mean,
no, 2008.
2008.
No, not 2008. 2012. Because 2008 was a good idea.
Yeah, I mean,
it just did, and the way that it panned out, all right, it didn't work. Let's try something.
Obama let everybody down. Like
he did.
He didn't.
Everybody was hopeful. It was
the hope and change that was coming.
Unless you're a racist piece of shit. Yeah. Everybody was hopeful. It's like, this is economy collapse, which is not his fault.
It was collapsing, but he's still part of the bailouts.
I understand. I'm saying the initial collapse was not his fault.
Yeah.
He didn't do all that shit, and we're not going to blame you. That's not your fault.
That was the Bear Stearns
2012, when basically you didn't really do shit. You had more drone bombings in fucking history, even still, during your presidency. More civilians killed, and just basically caused division in our country. Let's be real. Let's be real honest about it.
Yeah.
And then then 2016 is the result.
Made race relations like the worst they've ever been.
And they were, and the thing is,
since the 60s, we were doing good. Like we
were
doing real good.
The late 90s. Let's not say the beginning of the 90s, because that was when Rodney King and all that shit. It wasn't great then.
Yeah.
The LA riots. That's.
But things did calm down.
But in the late 90s, up until basically he was president, we were fine. And I understand who it's coming from. Yeah, that's rich. Coming from fucking white dude and a fucking half Mexican who looks white. You think we're privileged, fucking whatever. But it doesn't matter. The thing is that, you don't think that we don't encounter everyone? Not all lives matter. Not like shit like that, but we don't encounter everyone. I grew up fucking poor my whole life. Who do you think's in that category? I didn't grow up in trailers. I grew up in shitty little neighborhoods full of everyone.
By all metrics.
And basically, honestly, I didn't really hang out with any white people. I'm not going to justify myself. Fuck that. All I'm saying, we were fine. All the way up until that, and then there was a cultural and racial divide that just fucking came out of nowhere for 8 years.
Well, I think there were certain elements in the powers that be that wanted it that way. And I think Democrats did no favors.
Sex sells.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
When you have
division is the racial leverage. I don't know.
When you have taboo shit like that come up, that's what happens.
Remember that podcast with Vincent Everett Ellison?
Yes.
Where he's talking about how the Democrats have used race as a leveraging tool for a long time.
It works. Yeah, it really works.
It's not working anymore.
No, I know. But I'm saying, you know who it works on?
Who's working?
Idiots.
Yeah.
Idiots.
Yeah.
All the way from Antifa to QAnon. That's where it works. The fucking far left and right, that's who it works on. The people in the middle doesn't work on them because they know it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Because guess what? The hard-working fucking blue-collar people of America, guess who works with them? Every race, creed, color, everything.
Yeah.
We all work together, and there is no fucking problems. Now,
But
the only ones where there's problems
then Charlottesville
is the fucking fringes. And guess who works? Who's the middle, like the middle class, lower middle class, and upper middle class? Those three groups and everybody that encompasses that racist shit doesn't touch them.
Yeah.
The only one that it does is the fringes. And guess where the fringes don't work? They don't work the fucking same jobs as the middle class people and the fucking lower and upper.
It also has been used to indoctrinate all the kids in college now. Like
how many construction workers you know that are super racist or flying Antifa flags? None. Maybe super racist. Man, there's probably some. But the Antifa flags or the QAnon shit, how many of them are doing that shit? Who is the ones working in factories? Because guess what? Everybody works in factories. Everyone fucking works manufactured jobs. All of them, all the demographics.
Well, at least until Obama's presidency, because he started gutting the jobs and sending them off to China.
Yeah,
the Trans-Pacific Partnership that gutted a lot of middle class working manufacturing jobs.
No. But basically, what it brings us down to is 2016. This is what we get, and it was a big shift. It was in every way, fucking cultural, economical, all the other cools. Because I'm not super smart.
Well, we were on the back end of the financial crisis.
But we needed
the aftermath.
We needed a change, and just like, dude, everybody loves this guy, Democrats, Republicans.
Yeah.
And he just like he doesn't look like he's gonna put up with shit. Yeah, he's a reality TV show, but that right there is the result.
But he was the middle finger to the establishment.
That's exactly it. He was the result.
It's just like we're tired of DC. We're tired of DC,
and we're not gonna live like this anymore.
Yeah.
We need a change. Now, little braggadocious.
Well, I mean, you take what you got, man.
Yeah, I'm just saying, a little obnoxious, a little fucking self-handed, self-serving. Fine,
I mean, yeah.
but until COVID happened, everything was great.
Yeah.
Not saying it was the most perfect it's ever been, but comparatively, we were doing pretty all right.
Yeah.
He did some good work. And then you have COVID hit, and the Democrats just decided to forget that.
Well, you also had
it was the Trump vaccine until he got out of office, and then, oh, by the way, I would never take that. Blah 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 blah. But Biden just did this and super fucking jumped the line with all the fucking COVID the mandates and all this other shit. Oh, you're an anti-vaxxer. We're gonna I don't know the stupid word, but we're gonna You're a second-class citizen. You're a deplorable. You're a whatever. Say all the words that you want. Can you get me one, please? All the fucking things under the sun because you suck. But it's like, hold on. You didn't want to take the Trump vaccine, but you sure as shit want to take this exact same vaccine. The exact same one. But it's under a different presidency. So it's, well, I know, but we're the good guys. It's like you got mad at him when he did it. You said you refused to take it, and now anyway, getting a little off track. But basically, what it leads to is leads to a fucking corpse in office for the last couple of years, who's just fumble fuck through the whole thing. Yeah, and the
whole world's coming apart.
And the whole dude,
war just broke out. Like war broke out everywhere.
And what comes out of this? Honestly, go to your local dive bar and you'll see exactly.
Just listen to the whispers, I guess, or if you really want to just go to your average dive bar where working class people hang out and hear what they're saying.
Because I guarantee you, if you go to your average local fucking everyday dive bar, they're all Trump supporters already. Now to see how radical they get after this.
Yeah, you poked the bear.
I mean,
they poked the bear now. You can't unpoke that bear.
The only thing that he could do to completely cement, if it's not already cemented, his guaranteed victory is basically to stand up in front of a podium after this and say, we need to stop all this violence. We need to come together as Americans.
They did release some statements.
Okay, well, I'm just going off of shit because I don't know.
Yeah, you're just,
But like, we need to come together as Americans. We need to stop the violence. We need unity in this country.
Obama's release went out before Biden's, too. I heard about that on Megyn Kelly on the way over.
All right, well, what was it?
Let me see.
But anyway, if he does that, I mean, you might just punch the kick it. Boom. President 47. 47 Trump. Honestly, I'm ashamed.
Yeah.
I'm ashamed that it gotten this far.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. This was released at 6:44 p.m. Let me pull up the reaction shot.
All right. Barack Obama posted on X. There is absolutely no place for political violence in our democracy, although we don't yet know exactly what happened. We should all be relieved that former President Trump wasn't seriously hurt use this, moment to recommit ourselves to civility and respect in our politics. Michelle and I are wishing him a quick recovery. Well, I mean, it's going to be super quick. He just needs a Band-Aid and he'll be fine.
Yeah, it's a first aid. It's a first aid field dressing.
I mean, barely.
Barely. It's not even a field dressing. It's just a Band-Aid. I mean, it just like nicked him.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. That's it.
So, and then let's see.
Dude, my son face planted and there's blood running off. That was a bigger injury than that.
Let's see what old Joe said.
And he's won.
You got a handsome kid there, buddy.
Oh, I know. He's a handsome son of a bitch.
He's just like a little bear.
Why do you think we got bears everywhere?
He's like a blonde-haired, blue-eyed bear.
Yeah, his hair is darkening up. But, man, he's not made for the sun.
Yeah, he's a little pale.
Well, no, he's not pale. He really darkens up, but the thing is, he's starting to get heat rashes.
Oh, I see.
Texas weather, I was like, man, you got to suck it up, buddy. If you're going to play sports, I'm not going to force it on him, but he seems like he wants to do it, and he's strong. Dude, I saw him grab, like, a crayon, like this thick. He just looked at it, he's like, huh, snap. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? You're one. Chill, man. Anyway, let's see. President Biden, I'll let you read this one. I'm not reading his bullshit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought was. I beat myself.
I've been briefed on the shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania.
What are them squirrels doing over there?
I'm grateful to hear that he's safe and doing well. I'm praying for him and his family, like you pray.
Yeah, whatever.
And for all those who were at the rally as we await further information. Jill and I are grateful to the Secret Service for getting him to safety. There's no place for this kind of violence in America. We must unite as one nation condemn it. Oh, here you go.
Fuck.
Now you want to say something, shithead.
Okay. So anybody who actually believes that he wrote that and comprised that, or he's just somebody's like, hey, I just put.
He's
something
having
out.
his ice cream getting put in his jammies.
First off,
when that was being
why are you
written.
saying that like that's a bad thing? I love ice cream and jammies.
Yeah, but you're not running the free world.
Not yet.
All right, Morris, 2028. What do y'all think?
20, maybe 2040.
2040.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'll be your campaign manager. But...
Shit. What are you talking about? You'll be my VP, buddy.
All right.
Yeah. Morris Gandy, 2040. Let's do it.
We're making Bud Light great again.
That's right. Okay, so anyway, so going off of the finishing up on assuming this is real by every account,
Yeah.
it seems real.
I'm totally okay with drinking Bud Light now because it don't that y'all
Cheers.
you know
Nobody gives a shit about this anymore.
yeah this was so 2 years ago.
Hey, I still held strong. I was firm. Hey, by the way, before I continue on my rant on this shit,
Yeah.
why is it such a big deal? I
Why
get
is
so sidetracked. Why is it such a big deal that people change their minds about shit?
Right.
It's like you've been flip flopping. It's like, dude, I changed my mind.
Who's
like,
well, you don't have to
no,
name
I just
them,
no.
but-
Any political candidate is like, you said this in 2015, and then or pick a year, whatever, in 2002, and then in 2008, you said something completely different. It's like, yeah, fucking, I've changed my mind. I can't change my fucking mind. It's like I used to like old-fashioned donuts. Now I like apple fritters. It's like, does that make me a bad person? Fuck, I like different shit now.
But you still like donuts?
Yeah, dude, goddamn. I gave up donuts for a while.
Yeah.
It's a hard day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been.
I never eat McDonald's, but I've had McDonald's. I had McDonald's today.
Oh man,
Because the pregnant wife wanted it.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
She's awesome.
She's a sweet lady.
She's the luckiest.
Super
fuck,
smart.
dude.
Love you, honey, if you're watching.
Yeah. I love you. I love you also.
Greg loves you too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jackson said hi. Anyway, so going off the assumption that everything's real and all this other shit, like what this leads to and where do we go from here? The best outcome, the best that I can think of, is that we can civilly get through the next 4 months with the inevitable of Donald Trump being elected. You can't forget what happened. You can't. It doesn't work that way. But you have to hopefully put it as an individual, unless Antifa's like, we fully, if they were behind it, we don't know for sure, but whoever's behind it, unless a specific group on the left side, because I'm sure the right side isn't like fucking taking shots and be like, I'm going to help America, pow, pow, woo. Is that we can get through this time and hopefully come together and kind of, can we just call bullshit as we see it? Not this. I'm talking about like all the stupid, like we're coming into crazy times right now. It's insane. Like that this shit's happening. I mean, we're still doing stupid shit like this. I mean.
Yeah, here we go. They impeached him. They indicted him. They tried to lock him up, and now they tried to assassinate him.
And then look at that. Look at that picture. I mean, you just locked it up.
I mean, it's bad.
Hey, Democrats, if you're hoping to like get a better candidate or whatever, you fucked up.
Yeah,
you fucked up bad.
Yeah,
you lost the election.
Yeah.
Your best hope is for RFK Jr. Y'all just step.
Yeah, they run him. They run him out of the primary.
No. Is he completely out?
Wait, he's not the Democrat.
No. I'm taking your best bet if as a Democrat, either come up with the best.
They've got to restructure
The best fucking thing
they're over
ever, or you
this,
just bow out. You just bow out and just hope
because
RFK Jr. gets some sway.
This now,
it's your only shot.
This now affects everything down ballot now, because now the whole nation's galvanized around this.
Yeah, and again, I'm not saying that I was.
Oh, we're old now.
I'm not saying that I wasn't voting for Trump anyways, because I was.
Yeah,
still am. But I mean, this doesn't change anything for me. It just puts me to a point as this is a fucking tragedy. Meaning that we've resulted to this bullshit, thinking that we're civilized people and that we're not going to result, to this kind of tactics. But I'm worried more about what this means for what the everyday citizens are going to fucking go through. What this means and the change that this is going to go through them. Like this isn't like trying to shoot Reagan. This is already highly politicized in a very tension-filled environment, and then you just did this shit. I mean, there's going to be riots somewhere.
Yeah. Oh.
And there's going to be some ass whoopings.
Maybe not, because he didn't die.
Yeah, but there's going to be some people getting the fuck beat out of them.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean...
Well, if the internet is any indicator, I don't...
And let's go the other side. Just humor me for a second. Let's say this is bullshit.
Okay.
Let's say they completely staged this thing, allegedly. All right, don't get on my ass.
The others.
I want to explore both options.
When you say the other side, what do you mean?
Like that this was faked and this was staged.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just exploring it.
I mean,
I'm not doing Alex Jones saying Sandy Hook's not real and that shit like that. Apparently somebody died, but I'm saying let's say that this was a plan to make sure that because if this happens to either side, there's going to be sympathy thrown in waves to either side. So if this happens to Biden and he somehow survives, this whole thing shifts and it starts going his way. I'm not saying he still wins, but there's going to be way more support on that side. It's just how life works.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's perfect. came out with minimal damage. Right before the RNC convention, right? Convention? Like
Yeah.
a week before?
It's this week.
Yeah. So right
I think
before
it's
the
next weekend.
RNC convention, you just gave him the slogan, the pictures, the banners, everything he needs
all the
to
press,
basically just shove this right up Biden's ass
all the branding.
and all the Democrats. Yeah. And what are you going to do now? What are you going to talk shit about him? The guy they attempted to assassinate him. What are you going to do now? Because everything that you say is going to start off with, well, we don't believe that, violence is the correct blah, 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 blah. But, and it's like, no, we'll just we're going to stop with that. That's how all these speeches are going to start for the next, I don't know, couple weeks. And every time he brings it up, because he's going to because you know him, he's going to bring it up every chance he gets. And everything any person he's debating or talking to or interviewing, all this shit, is going to start the same way about how, well, maybe, this isn't the right way, blah, blah, blah. As Americans, we should blah, 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 blah. But, and then whatever they're going to say, and nobody's going to listen to a freaking word they say because of this. So,
Hey, Shakira plays bass.
cool.
Nice.
Anyway, thoughts? I'm done with my rant.
I think Greg kind of said everything I could say. It's there's nothing new I can add that hadn't already been echoed. Like, I'm not super intelligent on this shit. It's just, I mean, what do you want?
Democrats have no shot.
You have no
None.
shot. You were failing now. Like, you were failing. He's got a 73% approval rating among Democrats. Man, them polls gonna be ugly tomorrow.
Ugly. Biden's fucked.
I like Rudyard. What's his face?
Kipling.
He's not Kipling.
It's a cool name though.
But he has the channel What If Alt Hist, and he's a younger fella. He's kind of been working on this.
Oh, that's a fun one. Let's play that one out.
Which one?
What happens if it's 2 inches to the right?
If it's 2 inches to the right, we have a civil war on our hands.
Tell me what you see happening with America.
Well, you killed the top candidate, and then you galvanized the right, because there's already people. I mean, I'm not gonna name, but you can see it on Twitter. Like, Twitter's pretty much open. They're getting a little censor happy, but people have been posting things where they know, like, I don't know. This is what they say. They say, I've been talking to people and they're prepping. And, like, not me personally, but these are from little feeds that pop up on my feed and Twitter. It's like, I've been talking to men that they started working on things that they had no inkling or inclination to work on, like survival skills, prepping, and that type of stuff.
If you're a Democrat right now, oh no, keep playing this thing out. So what happens to America? There's a civil war, but what does that look like? What does that look like in your eyes?
It's
without trying to go full disaster. Hey, play both. Play both. Fuck it. Let the extreme and then the lesser version.
It breaks out into little factional fights, little skirmishes. People get radicals that want the theocracy and all that stuff, and then you've got all your crazy doomsday preppers, and pretty much the whole swath of the voter base just gets galvanized immediately.
Yeah.
And people start linking up. You got your former military thinking they're like, we're ready to go. Let's do it. And then the conflict starts breaking out with little skirmishes kind of popping up in major areas, probably the urban centers. Like, you have little small militias starting enforcing, and then when those start happening, state of national emergency is declared, martial law in whichever states. It depends on the state governors.
This is where my head goes.
Yeah.
Who attacks us first?
Oh, right. Well, the China there's
Or not, maybe not a full-on attack, but who
But-
makes a move first?
based on intelligence. I imagine China will move on Taiwan
Immediately.
Immediately. Iran probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll have us another 9/11, like because we're fighting.
I don't think Iran, but maybe
Well,
depending
the
on
radicalized Muslim forces within the country will, because they're in here because our border's been open. For a while.
I think that what they're doing is they're waiting for us to just
Make a mistake.
Yeah.
Make a mistake that we can't come back from, and
And
that almost was
we
that.
almost did it.
That was almost
right
that.
there.
And then basically things get militarized. Things get real tribal real fast.
Here's another fun scenario.
I mean, you could probably you have more hands-on experience with that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, tribes will tribe. Tribe's gonna tribe.
Tribe's gonna try, bro.
Hands gonna link up. And
Okay. Here's what.
But I think it ends. The thing is if a civil war breaks out, there's no winner. We end up.
we all lose.
We end up in some kind of form of a.
Our
new-
our Roman
Yeah,
empire falls
and then
completely.
Then you might see like states linking up and forming secession movements hardcore.
Who's first?
I believe Texas.
Texas is first.
Texas to Florida. You form the. Somebody coined the term. It's
I
actually.
never heard this.
It's called the Sun Belt. The Sun Belt.
I have heard that.
The Sun Belt Republic. Where
not bad.
It's from Texas to Florida,
They can come up with a better name, but it's not bad.
and all those states.
I mean, that's all we are. It's just all
Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, and maybe
Probably
parts of
Georgia.
Georgia, because Georgia's still a Democratic stronghold in the Atlanta areas and stuff. You'll see states like you'll see the Idaho, the Greater Idaho movement move forward.
I think Idaho, Montana, Utah.
And if the right prevails, I guess.
I think North and South Dakota
if the
kind of
hard-
do their own thing.
If the hard constitutionalist factions prevail, you'll get restored order in a matter of time. Otherwise, the other alternative is a military dictatorship.
That's a given.
Yeah,
Absolutely given.
because then
we fracture off, and there is no United States anymore.
it's
No.
done. It's done.
And honestly, what it takes, probably about 50 to 75 years to get it all back again.
Yeah.
Not everything. No, not our supremacy. That's gone, and it's never coming back.
No, the hegemony's
But
done.
to be able to be a homogenous unit.
A cohesive,
Yeah. I was trying to be smart. For a second.
You did a good job. But
Hey,
that's
I
just
read.
how the story plays out, man.
Okay.
But the actual.
Shit, I lost my train.
The actual physical conflict will look something like the Troubles in Ireland, but it's a big ass country. We're a big ass country.
Yeah.
Like we have a lot of land. mass.
Texas is bigger than every country in Europe. Every single one. Unless you count Russia.
You can fit
Because
the-
Russia's technically in Europe.
You
too.
can fit the UK in it.
Yeah. And that's just one state.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
Russia's going to do its thing. It's going to take Ukraine.
Let's
go and finish that. And
how about this?
It's going to get rid of NATO.
How about this?
NATO is done.
Here, how about this? We'll do this like the first crusade, right? Since
Okay.
I did the whole study and the whole thing, and you didn't do shit, but I did
Yeah.
the big deep dive into it.
Mhm.
If anybody remembers, and you've done any kind of history, the first crusade, the Christians failed.
Yeah.
They lost. And you know why they lost? Because the Muslims were a united force.
Mm-hmm.
And you could not take them being a united force. Now,
Warfare's in their doctrine, too. Like-
together we stand, divided we fall. Right?
Yeah.
That's what happened, and that's why the Christians ended up overtaking Jerusalem in the Second Crusade.
Yeah.
Because they factioned off the Abbasids, and that's what it was. I was trying to think of that name. And the Fatimas, they splintered off, and that's what happened. You have a great leader, and they have kids. The great leader dies. Oh, I'm in charge. Blah, 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 blah. Well, they took advantage, and they made their move at the right time, and they ended up taking it. They ended up losing it again because, you're so far away
From your
from
supplies,
England
from
and
your supplies.
from your supply
And
line.
you
You didn't keep good I don't know, ports, I guess. I can't think of the word. Anyways, in between to
Supply-
keep that steady supply line going.
Supply chain's everything.
Supply
and,
chain.
And that applies here, too, in our little
But
scenario.
here's the thing. No matter who's going to be in office, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. What matters is, as Americans, is that we stay together. Treat this like September 12th, 2001.
We're all the American flags were out. Yeah.
All of them.
Every single one of them.
We need to be consistent with history. The only way that we make this through, we make it through this, is together. But forget the president. Pick a name. It doesn't matter. Leadership. We have to be together, and because, like, as an entire unified country, it's the only way that we're going to make it. Doesn't matter who they try to put up there, because it doesn't mean shit if we're together. We got to stay strong, because shit like this, it's going to keep happening if we keep fracturing, splintering off.
I want to hear Rudyard's take on it. The boy from What All Hissed.
All right.
He's pretty sharp.
It looks like he's about to play guitar. I know it's not, but all right, let's see.
Right. Sorry, let me pull up my thing. Let me look at it.
But I understand this is generic.
This kid's an Uber history nerd.
I like it. I love Uber history nerds. I love history.
His channel's worth a follow. He's weird in his edits.
Hey, are we following him?
I follow him.
No, on our Twitter. Do we follow him?
I don't know.
Well, hey, Rudyard, we're gonna follow you. I know that doesn't mean shit, but
He's got a hell of he's got a hell of a. All right, there we go.
By the way, follow Martyr Made podcast. That shit, fantastic. Anyway, let's see what he says.
Where's my sound?
I don't see.
Hold on. Let me.
This is the fun part about doing it live. But the thing is that, hey, you don't got to worry about editing. You know this is us. We're hanging out at our bar. We're drinking our beer, and we're talking about crazy shit. And hopefully we don't come apart.
That's because
we need Jesus.
Yeah. In a big way. Well, I mean, that's the thing. If all this stuff busts out in a war, I don't know. It seems to me like we're kind of edging up on that there second coming pretty quick.
Can we have a quick conversation about, not the conversation, but do you think any of our presidents, the last two, Biden or Trump, legitimately prayers?
No.
I don't think so.
No. Trump is not a professed Christian. Somebody asked him the question, and he skirted around the issue.
I look at them both, and I'm like, nah.
He's the most moderate guy.
I will
By
tell you,
10 years ago standards, he's the most moderate guy. He probably would have been a Democrat. He was a New York Democrat for a long time.
He was for a long time. No, here, there's a reason I bring this up. So Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
Their head coach, I can't remember his name. Sorry, I don't remember your name. I'll check it out, and I'll say the next time we do this, I'll bring it up and talk about it. But he was talking about all the things. They're trying to talk to him about all the things in the country. He's like, what do you think about being the first, African American, blah 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 blah, and going against another, 2, 3, another whatever. He's like, I don't care about that. He's like, how many Christian basketball coaches are there? And I'm like, what?
A lot.
Huh?
Praying in the locker room.
No. But no, he was talking about all these things. They're trying to race bait him into a conversation. He's like, yeah, but how many professional basketball coaches are Christian? That was his first response. I'm like, what are you gonna say to that? You gonna talk about that? Yeah. And they just kind of like, and they just kind of went around. It's like, yeah, that's what I thought. That guy wins.
Okay, I think this guy's video play.
I was in New York City for a little bit in 2021, and I had just finished up with a date, and I was walking 15 blocks back to where I was staying. It was like 11 p.m. because I didn't feel like taking the subway. And these guys walked up to me, and they said, what do you think of the Nephilim? I started talking to them, and I said that their interpretation of the Nephilim were these biblical angels was incorrect.
I know.
And then we started talking about the Bible, where I'm a symbolist and they were literalists, in that I think that there are stuff like Noah's Ark is symbolic, and they think it literally happened. And So they took me back to their church. I was curious, and it turns out they're a cult called the Moonies, which believes that their leader in 1960s Korea was the second coming of Christ, and I think all of Christianity was evil.
Oh, yeah.
And they're known for having a lot of not savory stuff. You guys should look it up.
Okay,
I was in New
that
York
had
City for a
nothing to
little
do
bit
with
in 20.
anything.
Okay, yeah.
You know what sucks?
he
Hey,
did-
next
did-
time.
he did say something about the. Yeah, here we go.
Okay.
As of a minute ago, my dad just texted me that Trump was shot
Dude, how many
in
videos
a
does he put
rally
out a
in my
day?
home
Holy
state of
shit. He's wearing the same shirt.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Pennsylvania, and it just grazed him, and he's fine.
This is his job.
Okay.
But I just want to say,
Hey, that's what
I
we're trying
did
to do.
predict this years ago, and the reason I did that, and
Why
I
are you
predicted
smiling?
Trump would get assassinated,
That
is
sucks.
that if you look at the parallels between the fall of the Roman Republic and today, the figure who Trump is remarkably close to is the Gracchus, where the Gracchus were wealthy tycoons who built their platform about reviving the Roman middle class and making Rome great again. And then the Roman oligarchy and the elites, they
Mars.
first tried to frame the Gracchus as dictators, say they were dangerous populists, and then when the Gracchus kept winning, they had them assassinated, which then spiraled into the Roman civil wars. And so I could see the parallels, and I can see that the establishment now is very stressed and desperate, so I could see them trying to assassinate Trump. As of a minute ago, my dad...
All right, so yeah, that's what he said. I mean, and he's not the only one that predicted that.
I mean, we could all take a guess at it, but no, I get it. I get it.
I mean, you know it's coming.
You know what's weird is
You know it's coming, but they shot their shot and they missed.
obviously. You know what's crazy though is before we were going to start all this, I was going to have a religious conversation with you about the whole
Yeah.
the Palestinians and the Jewish, the whole like
Yeah.
the Israelis and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And talking about because I don't know when we're going to be able to talk about this because I feel like the next couple of podcasts is going to be about this shit.
It's hard to say. It's hard to.
I know it's hard to say.
It's election season, man. But I mean,
we're in, dude. Fucking.
But
football's here.
That conflict has been out of the news cycle since. The thing is Israel, the whole Israel and
It's
Gaza
not,
thing.
I understand that, but it was more of gaining your perspective on things and what you think.
Oh well,
Because like the Canaanites and the whole I had a whole list,
I can give you my.
but I don't want to get into it yet.
I don't have all the history that you do for Martyr Maid, but my 2-minute version is that you had Islamic families and cultures and stuff. They kind of already been established in Palestine, and you had that growing outbreak of Jewish nationalism thanks to the Balfour Declaration,
Zionism.
and then the radicalized Zionists starting shit.
Yeah, let's do this.
And then
I
it
wanna
stirred
save
up.
this
It
until
stirred up the ancient battle again.
When we can get an actual time to do this, I really want to have this deep conversation.
But that,
with you.
from a Christian perspective, that's not what's supposed to go down. I'll give you that. Christians aren't ordered in doctrine. I mean, granted, they leverage that stuff in the Crusades, but honestly, in the doctrine of Christian, if you read anywhere in the New Testament, none of it says go wage war on your enemies. You fight
the Zionists were wrong.
You fight them.
They were wrong. And that whole setup, if you don't believe me, look it up. Like we're gonna have a long conversation.
I
about
need
it.
to do the homework. I haven't had a chance.
It's a wild read.
I'm sure.
Or
Or
listen.
listen. Yeah.
But anyway, we're gonna talk about that at some point. I don't know when we're gonna get to it, but when we do, fucking buckle up, Buttercup, because this shit is wild.
Okay. Yeah. Even if we have to do it over the live stream, and I can.
That's fine. Like
From the distance.
I am ready to do it whenever you want, because this shit is never leaving my head.
Yeah.
After I went through this, like I was fucking blown away.
You're rooted in it. Now you have a.
It's like you want to talk about the stand. It's like I can go fucking.
Yeah.
I got it.
Oh, speaking of in Stephen King news, granted I'm not the biggest Stephen King fan right now, but Dark Tower has got a special place for me. Looks like where you might see a decent adaptation because it's Mike Flanagan, and if you've seen any of his work,
Give me something.
Gerald's Game. It's on
Didn't see it.
It's on Netflix.
Didn't see it yet. What else?
He also did the Haunting of Hill House.
That was good.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
He
okay.
did that. He also did. He did the Fall of the House of Usher series on Netflix.
Really?
Yeah,
I haven't seen it. I've heard great things though.
it's kind of messed up. It's like
But is it good?
I don't know.
Is it worth a watch?
It's kind of decadent for my taste.
Oh.
They don't stick,
I don't
they
really-
don't stick to
I'm
this.
I'm not a big fan of that.
Yeah, they don't stick to that story.
I'm
but
more of a nuts and bolts guy.
but he did Gerald's Game and he did it well.
Except Jack Carr. But we're not going to talk about the archetypes and shit because that was another thing we were going to talk about.
That's okay. I gotta finish that book. But
Send me the book.
I did. It's the last podcast, the 7 basic plots.
That's right.
7 basic plots.
I didn't get into it.
We looked at it at the last.
You know what?
It's
I was going to start
It's
it.
a long one, man. It's a tome of a novel.
Yeah,
it's
but
it's a.
I was going to get
it's
into
a-
it, but I got stuck.
It's
the
it's
new
a
Jack
master's-
Carr book just came out. I
Yeah.
mean, and I haven't missed one. Like within a week.
With Jack Carr, I prefer paperbacks because they just get read so fast.
Dude, the guy who reads it is Ray Porter.
Yeah, I know.
Porter.
Hey,
And
I
he
like
does a great job.
I like what I read, but the plot structures,
Is amazing.
but it's
And honestly, this
it's
last
predictable. It's predictable.
one. This last one, I mean, he did say this is
Every author does.
this
that,
is
though.
like a salute to Ian Fleming.
Every author
And if
does
if
that.
you know anything about Ian Fleming, he's the guy
Well,
who
Jack Carr
introduced Casino Royale, which is James Bond, and James Bond rules.
Jack Carr is. He's like your Tom Clancy's. He's like your he's your Ian Fleming's, and he also writes the stuff that the Jack Reacher guy does.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, at the very end of the book, he was
Jack
like,
Ryan. You know,
"Hey,
it's just like
well, I mean, at
it's the same character archetype.
Listen, at the end of the book, he was like, and thanks Tom Clancy, thanks Ian Fleming, thanks. I mean, he just goes through the whole list of like, yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's okay. But
it's for fun.
But he abides.
Thank you, Jack
he,
Carr. Number 8.
he abides by the storytelling.
I'm ready.
He abides by the storytelling rules. I mean, it's not intentionally or otherwise. He's modeling it after the men that came before him, and they all model it after the same basic archetypal structure that most stories are.
By
built
the way,
around.
that's another thing. If you don't like old movies, you just suck it up and go watch them.
Yeah.
Because then you kind of see everything coming and all the new because they just kind of redo the whole.
Yeah.
Trump, get better, buddy. Like I understand this is we kind of go off track, but the thing is, it's like whoever attempted this
Yeah.
is a fucking moron.
Whoever was the mastermind behind it.
You're fucking stupid, and you just if your attempt was to get Trump out of there, you just cemented him
Yeah.
into the White House. So you fucked up.
'Cause,
So
yeah. Now he's a real
speedy
monitor.
recovery.
He's
You
shit.
probably need some stitches, but he's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, he is fine.
So
So
I don't know.
we're just gonna see how this plays out.
Crazy stream. I don't know. Are we done?
The only thing I know how to go is like what happens if they find out next week that it was planned by the Republicans.
Right.
What happens then?
Whether it's a propaganda thing, then I don't know. If that ever were to come out, then everything else just kind of falls apart, and we end up in the same place anyway. So hey,
We'll see what happens.
yeah, see what happens. I don't know.
Hey, stay free.
Stay free and shout us out, you 3 viewers, subscribers.
Hey, we appreciate you
watch-
watching us. Like we would have
Yeah.
put it out there.
It's okay
But-
to chat. I know a small percentage of your viewership will actually chat, which we just don't have viewership. So
Yeah, we got some.
it's okay. Anyways,
But, hey, we appreciate you watching, and if you watch this later on, shoot us a comment. We'll talk to you. We're never afraid to talk.
I'll
we-
post it up on Rumble. Yeah. So all right, cool.
Hey, and if you want to talk about conspiracy theories, I'm in.
Sweet lies.